I believe actually there's quite a lot of like low-hanging fruit in those communities, like people who really want to participate in building a more just world, but they don't really know how to go about it in a way that doesn't just reproduce the inequalities that are already in place. How do we do that? It's like, that's the thing I really want to explore for probably a long time. When I was doing a master's in English Lit, I received a funding package through which I was asked to teach freshman writing courses at Portland State University. And I hadn't really had any interest actually in teaching, but it turned out that I really loved it. So later I was looking for a career to go into that would feel sort of more meaningful than being an English literary scholar turned out to be. I already had a lot of teaching experience and I really liked teaching, so I decided to go into teaching that way, which is I think quite different from a lot of the teacher candidates who I supervised who were like, I always wanted to be a teacher. That wasn't how it was for me at all, but it turned out to be a good fit. I tried a lot of different stuff over the years, and ultimately the work that goes into creating curriculum, that was actually why I came back to school, back to the University of Washington, was because I basically didn't have the bandwidth to like figure out how to make it work. And so I kept trying different things that didn't work. And finally I was like, I need to go be able to do some research about this and like have my attention be able to be focused on like, well, how can teachers make this work? Is it possible for adolescents who benefit from privilege to really internalize an approach to social justice that is actually potentially socially transformative? Or are they only going to internalize approaches that basically reproduce the current social order? So that's like an open question, and that's basically what I'm here to research. So my dissertation is exactly about all the stuff I've been talking about, and I'm going to start data collection in the fall, and it's a qualitative case study of teachers' classroom practice. Specifically focusing on teachers who have a transformative orientation to social studies teaching and who work with predominantly privileged adolescents. So that could be middle or secondary, and could be public or private school, could be predominantly white populations, predominantly middle class or affluent populations, could be ethnically diverse populations, could be poorer populations, but with some kind of access of identity where people benefit from privilege. So for example, I include schools where lots of kids are like working class or poor, but it's a mostly white school, and I also include schools that are ethnically diverse but fairly affluent. And we have schools like that, both of those kinds in King County. So I'm currently recruiting teachers to participate in that study, and I'm going to be doing interviews with a bunch of teachers and then observations in their classrooms to sort of find out exactly what are their curricular and instructional approaches for kind of dealing with these challenges, and sort of how do they think about the challenges that they encounter.